That's not it. Okay, where is my wine? I would like my... Charming Junior, yes, get Mommy his special cranberry juice, alright? Alright. Hello, Kate Middleton, it's the princess. How are you doing, sweetie? I know how you're doing, you're absolutely fabulous. Let me tell you, from one princess to a princess to be, you're going to be an amazing, wonderful princess. You've got all the wonderful ingredients, for instance, an extremely handsome prince. Wow, he looks a little bit brooding. A little bit like, you know, he's a character out at the CW, like One Tree Hill or something like that, sweetie. Then you've got the doting Queen Grandmum. Oh, she's lovely, and I know at times she can seem a bit aloof and too much into protocol, but once you become a part of the family, she's going to embrace you with both arms, I just know it. Perhaps more than my ex-mother-in-law would have done with me. And then, of course, you've got the coup d'etat. You've got the wicked stepmother. Okay, well, sweetie, it's not really your stepmother, but she is a stepmother, and wicked is debatable. Although I can only imagine the Queen's face when Charles brought her home and said, "Here's going to be your new daughter-in-law." Queenie, behave. So, sweetie, what I want to do for you right now is to give you the 5 essential rules that every princess should know, and I wish that if somebody had sat down and told me these rules, well, frankly, my marriage to Charming would have turned out a lot more happily ever after. So this is what I want to do for you. Now let's start with rule number 5 and go all the way to rule number 1. Rule number 5. Pick your own damn produce, sweetie. Don't do what Snow White and Giselle did, sweetie. I mean, after all, don't accept anything that's a fruit from someone who's so nefarious, especially if they look like this, sweetie. I joke. Or do I? But seriously, sweetie, go to Whole Foods, go to a farmer's market. I myself have been grabbing my own melons for years, and I'm sure that Charming's been squeezing his own lemons. They're probably doing it right now, even as we speak. Alright, rule number 4, sweetie. Stay away from bloody spindles. Why on earth do you even need a spindle anywhere? No one's spinning thread anymore, not when you can go to Belk's or Target, sweetie. No, you can get a nice frock there, you don't have to. And the last thing you need to do is walk up to it and prick your finger. No one needs a little prick, sweetie, absolutely no one. I guess that could be interpreted either way, but you know what, just stay away from little pricks. Alright, now, rule number 3, sweetie. This one's important. If you've got a stepmother or stepsisters that start ripping your dress off, don't be passive and like, oh, I'm going to let it happen, sweetie. Knock those harpies into next week. You know why? They're no good. They're going to try to undermine you every step that they can. You've got to establish who's boss. So, sweetie, yeah, knock 'em down, sweetie. A few pegs if you've got to. Now, rule number 2. And this gets back to the fighting thing, sweetie. Slay your own dragons. Don't wait for a prince to ride up on a white horse, sweetie. I mean, I can tell you, Charming had an allergy to horses. I mean, his crotch would break out unbelievably if he rode one. So I never got the whole white horse treatment, sweetie. But what I want for you is to know that there might be dragons that you may have to say that are intellectual, that are spiritual, that are emotional, any of the rules. Sweetie, you've got to slay them yourselves, and I hope that the other women who may not be princesses pay attention to that little piece of advice, sweetie. Slay your own dragons. And now, the number 1 rule for being a princess. Don't ever, never, ever have a lady-in-waiting that's as cute or more attractive than you are. Now, I know that sounds very sexist, sweetie, but really, I was looking at a picture of you on the street with one of your friends. Now, she's not as tall as you are, but she's, you know, reasonably cute, and she's not looking so dour. Sweetie, she might be all kinds of all right, but that could be a problem. So let me suggest maybe ladies-in-waiting who's talented, who's got a beautiful singing voice, and who's not a threat. That's right, Susan Boyle, sweetie. Maybe we throw a hat on the man that's behind you eating the burrito. You know, throw him in drag. Trust me, if you've got those two around you, there's no chance that Andrew's going to stray, alright, sweetie? So, I want you to heed this advice and make your own happily ever after, whatever that is for you. And as for me, I've set my sights on another man who's not Prince Charming. I think the one man that truly would understand me. You know who I'm talking about, Ricky Gervais. Sweetie, you can bring those Golden Globes over here anytime and run your naughty bits right by me. Oh, sweeties, I was talking about his jokes. Or was I? Anyway, that's all this week from the princess. Come back again next week when I tell you more about how the princess sees it. Ta-ta for now, sweeties.